So it seems as though that Linux developers are threatening to pull their code. For those of you who don't know what that means, when a developer makes a code for an engine or some type of program for a computer or anything really, that developer automatically owns that code, regardless if they work for a company. I don't know how that works. That's an unwritten rule, but I thought I'd investigate a little bit. So, is it possible for Linux developers to retroactively pull their code? Sorry, I'm just a master at butchering words. Linux now has a code of conduct, and a result backlash. Some people have claimed that developers can flip a kill switch or pull their code from Linux. They seem to mean that developers can revoke the GPL license from the code they have already contributed and force it to be removed from the kernel. Of course, if this were done, the effect would be disastrous, the forcing Linux developers to scramble to identify and replace the affected code, which would be difficult at best and impossible at worst. So, it seems as though that they can pull their code. But I'm not really sure how this came to be. I'm not really sure, why they're doing it. I think there's more. So basically, after all the stuff I'm reading down here, I'm getting yes and no answers. Yes, they can, but no, they can't legally, even though they legally own the code. So I'm not really sure how that works. I guess you guys can look more into that. So here's what I got. Linux programmers opposed to new code of conduct threatening to pull code from the project. So basically, from what I'm gathering from the information that I'm getting on the internet, is that the company introduced a new code of conduct for their developers, and the developers didn't really take too light of it, and now that's why they're threatening to pull their code. Just 30 minutes after signing the COC, the principal contributor sent a mail apologizing for his past behavior and announcing temporary break to improve upon his behavior. So basically, from the information that I'm getting, finally, is that yes, they did introduce some sort of new doctrine, and that the developers didn't take too kindly of it. It says that amending to the COC would mean good contributors are removed over trivial matters or events that happened a long time ago. So, example, a contributor who was asked to step down after his sex fetish was made public. There is a lack of proper definitions of punishment, time frames, of what abuse or harassment's appropriate behaviors leaves the code of conduct wide open for exploitation. So yeah, basically in Linux, people are free to contribute to the programs whenever they want, and they can patch their code, but it seems that this new code of conduct is limiting the amount of people that would be able to use their code, and they're going to be punished for past things that they did a long time ago. And I can see why that they're kind of pissed off about it. You know, some of us make mistakes in the past, and we can't really fix that because it's in the past. So moving on to other news, we got Lara Croft, who is a white savior. And a lot of people on the internet are saying this is one of the most insane garbages I read on the internet about a video game. Now, people, I don't know where you live. Some of you probably live in England, Europe, or Asia, but in the U.S., where some of these games are made, if it's not made in Japan or whatever, is that our population is about 70% white, or at least 60%. Anyways, we have a really big white population. The second biggest population is African American, and then everyone else just kind of follows in between. Then there's this Hispanic community, and then there's the Asian community, and Native American, whatever. But oh my god, I cannot tell you just how tired I am of this political correctness of white versus black. I respect people of all races and colors. I respect the fact that some people are white, some people are black, some people are Asian, some people are Hispanic and Native American, so on and so forth. But it seems that the day and age we live in, we're just attacking people based on their color. And if you're attacking someone, a fictional character like Lara Croft, for being white, you are racist. There's no way around that. If you are offended by Lara Croft being white, you are racist. It's a double standard. It goes both ways. In this country that I live in, we have black people, we have white people. we have people of all races and backgrounds. So you're saying that Lara Croft has to be black or has to be of a different ethnicity group. People, we live in the USA. The majority of people are white. That's where most of our media caters to. Me, you're probably going to yell at me for being white. No, I'm actually mixed. I'm actually Hispanic. I have a Hispanic origin. So that never really bothered me. But other people are going to yell at me for saying, oh, it's because you accept it, blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. Some people are white, some people are black. I never have a problem with it. But if you have a problem with a fictional character being white, you are, in fact, a racist. There's no way around that. I cannot help you with that. So I went ahead and read the article, but I'm not even going to bother showing it because it's just garbage. It's just blatant. It's just a blatant garbage piece of shit. And whoever wrote it is just looking for attention. And so the article is basically stating, and other people are stating, that Lara Croft is this sex model sorority girl who goes on these adventures and she's sexy looking. Well, the new version of Lara Croft, in my opinion, is more human than the previous incarnation of Lara Croft, which is the original one. She seems like a normal human being to me, other than the fact that she's basically a superhero that does all these amazing things and gets stabbed with barbed wire or rebar and survives drastic falls or getting shot. None of that at all is realistic. Half the things that happen in the Tomb Raider series are not at all realistic. It's a fantasy. Alright? So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just tired of people attacking fictional characters or people for being of a different color or ethnic group, whatever. Just imagine if Lara Croft was African American. If someone wrote Lara Croft as a black savior, and that's why Tomb Raider fails. Imagine if that article was written. The person that wrote that would be hanged immediately. You cannot sit here and lie to me and say that this is okay, that Lara Croft is a white savior, and that's somehow not racist on its own. There are different fictional characters of different fictional backgrounds. I live in America where the majority of people are white. I am, in fact, not really white. I'm actually Hispanic. I guess I'm also mixed, so it doesn't really matter to me, What I'm getting at is I'm not 100% Caucasian. I'm a mixed race. I have some Native American in here somewhere, too. But I'm sure majority of people in the world can relate because we're all becoming mixed races at this point. I don't know what's going on. There's always political correctness with anything. To be brutally honest, if I owned a company that was making a video game or movie, I would give two shits about political correctness. I would just make the movie I want. And yes, I would put black characters in there because I felt that is essential to the story, or I felt like I want to create that character. I would put Asian characters in there, Hispanic, white. I would put characters that I want in the story because I felt that's the character I want, not for political correctness sake. And that's where these companies need to stop catering. Stop catering to these things. So, to move on to my final thing about race on this episode topic, because that's what it seems to be I'm talking about. So, whitewashing Princess Tatiana. So, I'm not going to bother reading this article again. I already read the article, but I don't want to repeat it. If you want to read it, you can read it yourself. But it's basically about Disney whitewashing Princess Tatiana. I've been very quiet on the subject because it was important to me to do my due diligence before publicly addressing something as near and dear to my heart and face as Princess Tatiana. The summer new image was released where she looked very different with lighter skin and much sharper features. I was surprised as much as most of her fans were. Aside from my personal feelings, I noticed how people felt online, and I was glad to see that people are still very much in love with supportive for our princess. Good God, people, this is what you're freaking out about? You're saying that they made her way too white. People complain about everything. Okay, look. There are people of different skin colors. Some people have darker skin, like black people, and some black people have lighter skin. I can even pull up some images. And some of them may be Photoshopped. Here's this person. I don't know if this is a girl or guy. I can't really tell in this picture, but this person is of black origin, and he has whiter skin, or he or she has whiter skin. And look, this person has significantly darker skin. And we have some African children who have different colored eyes with noticeably lighter skin. Look at this beautiful woman. Oh my god, this woman is gorgeous. This woman's gorgeous. But look, she also has noticeably lighter skin too. But that's arguably probably Photoshop. I can tell a little bit. Oh my god, this lady is gorgeous. So basically, I'm looking at different people with different light-colored skin. And yeah, some people have light skin, some people don't. Some people have darker skin, some people have lighter skin, some people don't. Some people have darker skin, some people don't. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, there's always going to be someone who's darker or lighter. So, I wanted to talk about other things today, but I don't know how my topic became about race. I accept people of all races and colors, and I accept people for different religions and backgrounds. Me, personally, I'm atheist, but I accept other people who are religious. I'm not going to bash you because you believe in Christianity or if you're a Muslim. I'm not going to bash you for that because that's who you are as a human being. I'm not going to bash you for your different skin tone or different skin color. But, again, it's just, we're living in a day and age where people just complain about everything. And I understand where people are coming from. I understand that there was, or is, prejudice in this world that we live in of people of different ethnicity groups. But I promise you 100%, the majority of us are not like that. The majority of people, we accept people for who they are. It's just, there are a few bad apples, and sometimes those bad apples get noticed. Example, I was in the Army, and whenever someone does something stupid in the Army, it falls back on everybody. What do I mean by that? Good example. While I was in the Army, I was in Iraq, and during Iraq, there was one soldier, I didn't know who he was or his name, but I heard that he raped and killed an Iraqi girl. And this news fell back into the U.S., and I remember people online saying, oh look, U.S. soldiers are raping and killing Iraqi people. No, that was that one person. That was what that one person did. No one is doing that in the Army. That was an individual who did something stupid, and it fell back on everyone. So that's a good example. It's just that when you have a group of people and one person does something stupid, it reflects on everybody. And that is just the world we live in. And, it's going to be a fight. We're going to have to fight to get rid of racism and prejudice. It's going to be a long fight. Racism may not end in our lifetime. It may be a couple generations from now. But as long as we keep fighting the good fight and putting a stand against prejudice, we can all live together better as a people and be able to accept each other more and more. So, I see why people are upset, but at the same time, I think it's overblown. And again, just imagine if this was the other way around. If Lara Croft was being blackwashed, like that person would be hanged immediately. Imagine it was any other character in Disney. Their skin was darkened to fit an agenda. I bet you, if a Disney character's skin, let's say like Ariel or someone, or Pocahontas, skin was darkened, no one would complain about it. But in this case, people complain about it. So, yeah, I get why you're upset, but at the same time, it's overblown. Guys, this is Matthew Scooby. That's just my 2 cents. Feel free to yell at me in the comments below. I gotta go. Peace out.